All right, guys. Hi, everybody. Steven Howie here with Promar and Ahi USA, and I have the famous Caroline from Kids Can Fish organization that started, honestly, a little over 7 months ago, and it is caught like wildfire. Really cool organization that's focusing on kids going fishing, something near and dear to my heart. So, Caroline, what I want to do is take a few minutes and go over your more popular things you like in our booth, stuff you're using, and I want to hear your point of view on why you like them and why they work and all that kind of good stuff. First one, talk about this little guy, this little minnow trap.
All right. Do I open it up?
Go for it. Whatever you want to do. It's all you.
So,
There you go.
this is the Promar and Ahi minnow trap, and it is here. How do I get it up?
Yep, just show me. Little clips.
Yeah.
Little clip there. There. Springs up like that.
Yeah.
So not only is it kid friendly, it's adult friendly, so you can stow it away and it don't take up a ton of space.
Yeah.
But it bounces out to a minnow trap like that. I'll let you do your thing.
And I've actually used one of these, and it worked really good. I used like our bluegill pellets that we feed our bluegill and stuff with, and I put bread in, and within the first minute, I already had fish in it. So I really like this product, and I definitely use it all the time.
How do you get the fish out once they go in the holes? How do you get them out?
This is how I get them out. I unzip this thing, and then I can just kind of shake it, and all the fish kind of fall out. And if I can't get to one, I'll just stick my hand in and grab it.
So I got a question for you. How do they get trapped in it? You ever asked that? Figured it?
They get trapped by, they come in through this hole, both holes, and then once they do that, they don't really know their way out.
Okay.
So they can't get out, so they're kind of trapped in it.
So where do you
And
put
then the bait, I was just about to say that. So the bait actually goes in here, but there is the ropes in here right now. But the bait goes in this pocket, so that way you don't have to put it actually in here and it floats out or stinks up the net. So this is your little bait pocket.
So you like that one? That would catch them pretty good, huh?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. So let's move on. I know that you do a lot of offshore fishing, right?
Yes.
I saw some fantastic pictures, like what, 2 weeks ago or whenever you went red snapper fishing, like a 25-pound red snapper, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you caught some cobia too, right? You like that?
Yeah. So this is the Promar and Ahi gaff. It is very sharp.
Careful.
Yeah, very sharp. And I really like this product because if we like get a huge cobia on, I can just kind of stick it over and go like that, and it gaffs them, and then it's an easier way instead of netting the fish, which is kind of hard to do. So this kind of just saves a lot of time, and you can just stabs the fish, so that way it will get it on the hook. So like also, if you don't want to like touch the fish if it's all like bloody and stuff, this you can kind of just hold the pole and take a picture with it. So
Guess what else about this? Guess what's cool about this gaff?
What?
Say the fish is so strong and so big, he rips the gaff out of your hand, the gaff comes off the fish and goes in the water.
It
Guess what this
floats.
is? Exactly. So this is called a carbon fiber gaff, double wall, super strong. Even my big old self, I could probably do a pull up on this thing and it wouldn't break between 2 bars. It's super strong, but super light. So you're not going to lose your really expensive carbon fiber gaff that falls in the water. She's going to float for at least 24 hours so you can fight it. So pretty cool deal there. So next one I know I saw you using quite a bit on when you used Hawaii Bait with your dad is that bait wall net. Talk about that
So
one too.
this is a bait well net. I really like this bait well net because we have a very deep bait well, and this stick is long enough to actually reach to the bottom of it. And then I'll stick it in our bait well, and I will come up with a full net of bait if we have a lot of bait that day. So I really like this product. Also, I used this product to do the Pololo worm hatch video whenever I was catching the little worm things. I don't know what they really are.
Multi-purpose.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's very useful.
Guess why that net lasts longer? Did you ever notice one thing about it versus other nets? So that's like one of our fun nets, right?
Yeah.
So the net goes outside the shaft on it. So after a while, this net tears, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this one, the net is actually inside the shaft. So when you're beating up the bottom of your well,
Yeah.
you're not tearing your net.
Yeah.
This net's going to last twice as long.
Yeah.
Next cool
It also
thing.
floats too.
Exactly. So when you put in your live well, it
Yeah.
sticks like this. You
Yeah.
grab the handle without having to stick your arm in there and get your
Yeah.
shirt all wet. Right? Exactly. So which is not a big deal when it's hot, it cools you off. When it's cold, it gets wet. So then the fun nets. Let's do this too. I know y'all do a ton of clinics with a ton of kids. I know y'all give a lot of these away. Why don't you talk about those?
Alright. So these are the Promar and Ahi fun nets. I use these a lot in our backyard because we have like minnows in our weeds and tadpoles and frogs and all sorts of stuff. And this is just perfect to catch them with. And you don't have to get wet, but I like to get in the water because that's just fun. It cools you off. And that way when I get in the water too, I can go deeper and catch little bluegill and stuff. So I use this to catch tadpoles and minnows.
So here's a good dad trick too. when all the kids are done playing and y'all left those nets on the edge of the lake and whatever, nice and colorful, we can find them.
Yeah.
Pick up, right? Next one is this. So this is our minnow net. So we'll set those down. If you got one of those too, a little bit easier to use. Get a little further on those weed beds and stuff, catch minnows.
Yep. So now, like, because we have like a, what is it? Like, it's like kind of like a canal almost, and it like goes towards the back, remember? Like, yeah. And so this is actually perfect for by the boom, and you can just kind of scoop up minnows by that instead of having to get in the water because it reaches, because it's got a really long stick. So that's really cool.
So I have another item which I don't think you've seen yet. Okay. See that?
Yeah, and then that.
Yeah, maybe we need to hold up
This one
what
works.
Exactly. So that's our kayak net. I don't know if you've done any kayak fishing and stuff, but a lot of our anglers, we had a shorter hand version that's only about this long.
Yeah.
We had anglers actually buying that net, going to Home Depot, and buying a longer tube to make it longer handle. If you've been into kayak fishing, they were trying to put the rod way back and net their fish, and they couldn't do it. So we made a longer hand version for our kayak guys. That's our saltwater version to catch a redfish, something near and dear to your heart.
My friend has a kayak and she fishes on it all the time. So,
So it's not the easiest thing in the world. My hat's off to those folks who do that.
Yeah.
So pretty cool net, huh? You like that? So something else about it. So the netting on this is rubber dipped. Notice the flat basket. 2 reasons. The rubber dipped is not going to hurt the fish as much. It's more gentle. It's going to keep more of the scales on the fish when you're netting. Plus, if you get a lure in here, it's going to be a lot easier to get out. Not only that, you can lay it flat basket. The fish is going to lay flat and going to be able to stay alive in the water a little better so his nose down there.
because you can like kind of hang it off the kayak, like, and that way your fish will be in here, flopping around, kind of swimming in the net, and that way you can keep it alive.
Exactly. Take your picture and let him go, right?
Yep.
Just another day. So, last thing we're going to talk about is the cast nets. There's some of the stuff out of it. This is something you love. I may even put you on the spot and see if you can throw your 6-footer over there. Okay, so how old are you now?
10.
10, right? So you're, I'm going to say, what, 5'10", 4'10", 4'11", you're 5 foot tall, and you're going to throw a 6-foot net.
Yeah.
So the net's bigger than you, but with right technique, knowing how to do it, no big deal, right?
Yep.
Matter of fact, you were here yesterday, and I gave you a 5-footer, and you're like, ooh, Mr. Steven, do you have a 6-footer that seems a little small? So let's see what you can do with that net. Maybe they can back up a little bit, get that thing loaded up, let's go. What are you doing here?
So I am actually making sure that my net will stay on my hand.
Okay.
So really what I just did was,
Show them all that.
yeah. So now I have a handle, and then I take my line and I
So
pull
wait,
it through.
what if you just put this over your wrist like that? What if you just did that and you threw it?
If I threw it, it would go like that.
The whole
and it
thing would go in the
fly.
water and you would drink.
Yeah, and then you would lose your cast. So that's what I use this for. I pull my line through it here, put my hand through that closed line, cinches it down. And then I just coil the line.
Let me do something real quick. You're also going to catch yourself. No, no.
You probably actually just take this one.
Halfway.
And then I'm gonna grab the horn,
What's the horn?
this.
That little hoop thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And then I'm going about down to where my waist is, so it's a little bit.
You always make sure that horn, you don't want to get that horn past your lead line down there, right? Get tangled. Okay, cool. All right, well.
And then I'm tangled there.
Like it's tangled. Here. Yep.
So now I'm just going to kind of separate it about a quarter of the net. I'm just folding it in. And then grabbing one shot. I'm going to do a 2-shot. So then like that. And then I'm ready to throw.
All right, I back up. She'll net y'all. Don't think Mr. Steve did. All right, so did everyone see that? You have a little, I shouldn't say little, awesome 10-year-old here that is less than 5 foot tall, throwing a 6-foot net like it's no big deal. I want everyone to notice it was all in one hand, not on herself, and there was no lead in her mouth.
Yeah.
And that's
so
a
it's
technique.
very easy to do.
That's a technique I don't do. She has picked that up on her own, loaded it that way. I do mine different. And that's what I want to call out.
Because there's so many different ways to do
There's
it.
like about 10 different ways you can throw a cast net. And this one's great, right? Because you never got in contact with yourself. You don't put the lead line in your mouth, and you just throw pancake.
Because when you put your lead line like over your mouth or in your mouth or over your shoulder, you get drenched.
Exactly.
And this is just, well, you're still gonna get wet, but
Not near as lead as you should, though, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, and now when I said the word pancake, what's that mean? What do I mean by
it
pancake?
means it's very flat, which means it's a round circle, which means it's like the best throw you can get.
So I'm going to confuse you a little bit. You know, everyone says you gotta have pancakes for breakfast, not bananas. Bananas are bad luck when it comes to fishing, right? You know that? There you go. Right on, girl. You know your stuff. Anyways, that's Miss Caroline from the Promar and Ahi booth here at ICast 2021. Thanks for watching. She's gonna be here for a couple more hours today throwing cast nets. If y'all are around, swing by. We'd love to see you.